Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. For those of you who don't know, I started Grumpy Old Fart to express my political and social opinions and to say things that I felt needed to be said. Unfortunately, YouTube started giving me strikes. As a hedge against this happening, I've created backup YouTube channels, Grumpy Old Gamer and Grumpy Old Ufologist. I also created a channel called Grumpy Old Fart over on Rumble, a free speech alternative to YouTube. You can find all of my stuff there, including my political opinion and current events. The link to my Rumble channel, as well as links to let you order my books, are in the description of this video. If you enjoy my content, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. I welcome your comments, even if you disagree with me. Now, on with the video. Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing a UFO activity video, and this video is going to kind of ramble a bit, but I'll tie it all up at the end. I started doing research on a UFO crash that happened back in the 30s in Germany, and the more I researched, the more information I found. The information on the crash is sparse. Oh my God, sparse. There's a lot of interjection and stuff, so I tried to condense what I could find about the actual crash. Now, the repercussions of the crash is what this is about. Because, oh my God, if you listen to what the theories are about this, it's all over the place. All right. The Black Forest crash of 1936. Whenever you mention a UFO crash, everyone automatically thinks of Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. However, there was a reported crash from 1936 in the Black Forest of Germany that may have been the impetus for much of the Nazi advanced technology, or possibly even for the start of Hitler's expansion into Europe 3 years afterwards. The debris was reportedly taken to a castle where scientists began trying to figure out the technology. Later, the debris was transferred to Peenemünde, which became the Nazi secret weapons research facility. The guy who ran that was named... Hang on, let me find him. Hans Kammler. He was a German officer. And I've heard 3 different versions of his rank. So we don't know what his rank was. Specifically. I've heard that he was a colonel. I've heard that he was a general. I don't know. I also heard that he was a major. I don't know. At any rate, I would like to go into more detail about the crash itself, but every source I found has different details. The only thing we know for sure is that a UFO crashed in the Black Forest in 1936, and that Hitler's military took possession of it. Some said it was the SS, some said it was the Gestapo, but we know for a fact his military took possession. Excuse me. Many people do not realize that German science, and I'm going to talk about this at length, German science gave us relativity, and they gave us quantum mechanics. Yeah, it's getting a little bit scary now, isn't it? Nazi Germany was decades ahead of every other nation on Earth in 1939 in multiple areas of scientific endeavor. Nazi wonder weapons included, ready, V-2 rockets, advanced jet propulsion, advanced aircraft with jet propulsion, stealth aircraft like the Horton HO-229, I think that's what it was, disc-shaped craft, a rubber stealth U-boat, a stealth submarine made of rubber. And keep in mind, Allied pilots reported seeing Foo Fighters, and I did a video about that. The Foo Fighters of World War II. Allied pilots reported seeing Foo Fighters over Germany, over Europe. Allied POWs in Germany reported seeing disc-shaped aircraft in flight. The markings indicated that they were German, so keep that in mind. The Third Reich was experimenting with time travel and anti-gravity propulsion systems. We know this, it's documented. There's a one specific item called the Glocka, or the bell. It was a power plant that reportedly used anti-gravity propulsion and was meant to be installed in one of these disc craft. So they're building something that looks like a bell, and it's meant to be inserted into a flying disc, and it uses anti-gravity for propulsion. Does anybody else think that's a little advanced for 1939, 1940, 1945? You see what I'm saying? Now, it was called the Glocka, the bell, because of its shape, which was distinctively bell-shaped. The Glocka was being developed at Peenemünde, which was also run by it was run by that German officer named Hans Kammler, along with a mysterious structure at that place called the hinge. It was circular, and nobody can really figure out what it was meant for. It's been theorized it was for a power plant or whatever. Other people theorize they used it in conjunction with Die Glocke for something. After the war, Hans Kammler and Die Glocke both disappeared. Oddly enough, a craft that bore a remarkable resemblance to Die Glocke crashed in Kecksburg, Pennsylvania in 1965, after making several aerial maneuvers. The craft was taken into custody by the U.S. Army, who of course denies it. Here's my question. Was Hans Kammler aboard? We don't know. If it uses some sort of a gravity drive system, it is, and they were experimenting with time travel, so theoretically, maybe this thing traveled through time. We don't know. He left 45 and ended up in 65 in a different place in the world. Who knows? I mean, that's obviously an unsubstantiated theory, but the descriptions of this thing that crashed in Kecksburg, Pennsylvania, pretty well matches the thing that was at Peenemünde, the Glocke. So that's a hell of a coincidence. I'm just saying. Hermann Oberth, a professor who taught Werner von Braun, wrote in his journals and later confirmed that Nazi scientists were studying ancient Sanskrit and Hindu texts. The Vimanas in the ancient Hindu texts bear a striking resemblance in shape and function as Die Glocke. Oberth and von Braun were two of the many Nazi scientists who came to work for America after the war under Operation Paperclip. I did a video on that. Go check it out. It's well known that the Nazis had bases in both the Arctic and Antarctic. Maybe they were, ostensibly, we believe they were weather stations because the Nazis had to have weather reports, and during the war, the weather reports, international weather reports, stopped. So they needed weather stations. That's cool. No problem. I understand that. But they had a lot of them, and they were in the Arctic and Antarctic. Another thing people don't realize is Nazis were big into the occult. Many researchers believe that the Thule Society, which were a group of Nazi mystics, were responsible for the Schwabenland expedition, which was sent to establish a Nazi colony in Antarctica. Now, to be fair, there is no strict evidence that says the Schwabenland expedition was successful. We just don't know that they made a colony there. However, in 1946 and 47, Operation High Jump sent a fleet of 13 ships, including an aircraft carrier, under the command of Admiral Byrd to Antarctica. Officially, the reason was to expand the American sphere of influence. A lot of scientific studies and exploration was done, but a 6-month voyage was cut to something like 6 weeks. So they were supposed to be there for 6 months, and they cut it really short. Upon his return, Admiral Byrd commented that America needed to be ready for a war against craft that can fly from pole to pole at tremendous speeds. Everyone thought it was odd, but nobody gave it much thought after that. After Byrd's death, his journals came to light. His journals tell us a story of an encounter which culminated in a battle with high-tech, disc-shaped craft using extremely powerful weaponry. One such weapon, quote, sliced a warship in two, close quote. Many researchers theorize that these advanced craft could be Nazi in origin, derived from alien technology. And again, all this is theory. We don't know. If this is true, then the Black Forest UFO crash has had some very serious repercussions in our world. But again, we don't know. We know that after the crash in 47, we don't know that it was an actual UFO that crashed at Roswell. But we know the military badly botched, an effort to hide something. All signs point to a UFO crash, a flying disc crash. We've had whistleblowers come forward and say that American scientists are trying to reverse engineer the technology there. And since 47, we have had a serious spike in technology in America in various areas. If this happened in Germany, it would explain a lot of the German high-tech innovations, a lot of their scientific endeavors. It would explain a lot. Now again, we cannot absolutely link what happened in Antarctica with Admiral Byrd's fleet to the Nazis. We can't even say for sure that it happened. But the man put it in his journals. We know for a fact that they were supposed to be there for 6 months and they cut it really short. Who knows? We honestly don't know. But if the Germans did recover a downed flying saucer, it would explain a hell of a lot of shit that happened in our world. That's all I'm saying. Do some research. I would love to see your comments. Please do so, because there's so much about this story that was pieced together from various sources. And again, I know I left a lot out. If somebody has more information that's provable, please put it in the comments. I would be very happy to read it. Hope this finds everybody well. You folks have a good day. God bless one and all.